Oh, goodness. Hi. I was over checking out pill.net and Foxhole because today is our first day streaming on pill.net and Foxhole. So, you guys, it might be a little bit clicky for me today. Please bear with me. But super excited to join that community. Found a lot of channels that I really respect and admire, and I was following some of them today and chiming in with the community, really brilliant community there. So if you guys aren't on Foxhole or pilled.net, go to the Foxhole app, thefoxhole.app, and you can sign up. There's a option to give who referred you. Please choose Litecoin Lisa. I get a little kickback from that and benefit from that as we go down this foxhole. Maybe we'll call it a foxhole now and not a rabbit hole. So we'll be right back with Johnny Litecoin and lots of great news about Litecoin and cryptocurrency and what's happening in that whole area. So we'll be right back. Give us a like and thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Welcome back, everybody, and welcome back, Johnny Litecoin. Thanks for joining us. Today is a historical day here on the new normal. We are starting our journey on Foxhole and pilled.net. So this is our first time live streaming on pilled.net and the Foxhole app. So we just want to welcome everybody in the community for joining us.
Nice. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
And you guys be patient with me. I had a little lesson with methods earlier this morning, and he told me how to pop out the chat. And for some reason, I'm not able to see it on my.
Bear with her, guys. Bear with her. We'll get a good crypto chat, Litecoin chat. Talk about the markets. A lot going on with crypto recently. A lot going on with Litecoin in particular. Some big stuff that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I was looking at, while I was at Westwoods at the retreat for our crypto friends, we all just really loved your rant about Roger Ver. I don't know if we should start off with that or not, but you're really passionately expressing your opinion about what was going on with all that. So where did that come from? Because was that triggered by anything? Seemed to be just.
We might as well start out with a bang, right? I'll prep everybody. Yeah. I guess, my videos just come from the heart. That's why it's always like I have like passion, and I woke up and I guess I just woke up pissed because I read an article and it was on Bitcoin.com, and it was about Landon, NASCAR driver, getting paid in crypto, and they had no mention of Litecoin. And he was paid via Litecoin, and David Schwartz tweeted, he was like, no mention of Litecoin. He's like, come on, grow up. And point being, Bitcoin.com, if you guys don't know, Bitcoin Cash people, Roger Ver was an investor in that. So they censor Litecoin from being mentioned on there. So I guess I just got me angry, and I just said enough is enough. And I wanted to. Well,
I think the hypocrisy of censoring in the crypto community, where it is about transparency, freedom, open source technology, all of that. I understand why the veins were popping out of your neck. But we really enjoyed it.
And I'll throw one disclaimer when everybody watches the video of one thing that I only regret saying one thing, and I'll tell everybody after, but let them watch first.
Okay. Well, good. We'll watch the video really quick if you guys are good with that. Give me.
You guys are ready.
Just get
the children out of the room. Get the women and children out of the room.
Disclaimer.
Warning.
Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Put the volume up.
Volume all the way up.
It's Johnny Litecoin here. So, guys, I had to come out a video today about how much I hate Bitcoin Cash. So I've never talked about this. I never really paid much mind to it, right? It's the agenda that the people behind this coin have against Litecoin. It's sickening. It's sickening. I never gave a shit about Bitcoin Cash. If somebody wanted to accept it for payments, I enabled it for them. I helped them do it. Not the people behind Bitcoin Cash like Roger Ver. So let's start out with BitPay. He's an investor in that. He's paid money to make certain Litecoin is never enabled in that, okay? Is this freedom for people, for the world, wanting money for the world, for open payments? That seems to be like censorship to me. I'm calling this piece of shit's bluff, all right? Who the hell knows who's behind this guy? All I'm saying is his story doesn't add up to me, all right? Seems really fucking suspicious. Next thing is they own this Bitcoin.com, right? They won't mention Litecoin on it, even when it's a news story about Litecoin, right? What about Landon Castle getting paid for NASCAR, getting paid in Litecoin? They didn't mention Litecoin about this. David Schwartz tweeted something. He said, grow up, right? It's past grow up, right? Being pieces of shit, all right? And you're showing your true colors, okay? Crypto, if you really want freedom for people and freedom of payments, you let people accept whatever payment they want. I get it. You want to push your own crypto. I don't have Bitcoin Cash logo on this shirt. But I don't talk shit about it, and I help people accept it for payment. I help do whatever is necessary, and I always gave it the credit when the credit was due, but not on the other side, right? So what can I do on my end? On my end, I help with payment processing in the United States. I will make certain that if they try to get apps approved in the U.S., for payment processing that are popular in payment devices, I'll make sure I call these CEOs of these companies up and let them know how bad Bitcoin Cash. I'll do whatever I got to do, right, guys? Peace. Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I got to tell everybody, it was the hit of the weekend, I think.
Maybe in my heart I did it. I don't know. I wanted to be entertainment for you guys. I felt bad. I couldn't be at Westwoods. I said I want to contribute in some way.
Yeah, you were there in spirit for sure.
Let me be there. You guys inspire. Maybe all your guys' energy together, like you guys like teleported it to telepathically sent me this energy, and I was like, oh. But
I'm sure that was it. There's oh wait, the chat's kicking in on pilled.net. Yeah, I'm still really trying to learn all this. And
I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing StreamYard.
Yeah, we can't see it on StreamYard. And so that was one of the things Method said that he's like, hey, that's a great question, because we have a lot of people that are using StreamYard. So he's going to talk to some of the developers and see if that's something they can work in where the pilled.net. But he did teach me how to pop out the chat. But for some reason, I need to go back. And he's like, well, Lisa, if you would get on Discord, which I really struggle with Discord. There's like all these different rooms, and I can't tell if I'm talking to an individual or a group. And my husband's really better.
I'll help you with Discord because I actually am part of a Discord group now that I'll talk about it more next week, but I'll talk briefly about it now that my nephew was doing. It was more for like stock trading, but then he added like a whole crypto section, and I started managing the crypto section and making posts in there and putting content in there. So it's we're going about it in a different angle. It's really good. So we'll talk more about it next week, promote the link, and get some of you guys to join. And Lisa, maybe we can give a little Discord lesson as well. So we'll kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, so I definitely need
Discord's good because it's a kind of like it's like a kind of like a meeting place. You could break off into different kind of like rooms and groups, and then there's different content. So in our Discord channel, there's stuff about like stock trading. There's like different challenges that my nephew set up. Like he has like a $1,000 to $10,000 challenge like for crypto. I guess he's trying to turn $1,000 into $10,000. Different things like swing trades, long-term holds, and then I added a section just about like exchanges, wallets, like general help. So people can go there, and then it's a trusted place to go, ask questions. And then maybe you don't even need to ask the question because somebody else already asked the question in there. You know what I mean? So it's more about that. And
so will you be able to search it within Discord? You can like search a topic or search something, a question that you have within that group.
You'll be able to see. So you'll be able to see like what groups are what groups. You're not going to go to like swing trading for stocks to see like a general crypto help question. But in the crypto help exchanges section, general help, then that's where the questions are going to be. So that's we'll talk. Maybe next week we'll do like a whole Discord. Whole Discord because Discord is.
Try to jump on. Yeah, I'll try to jump on between now and then and make some questions because I've tried it before, but I just cannot keep up. So
sounds. I talk about the Bitcoin to Litecoin ratio in the Discord.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I just do some updates on that, how it changes, and so let me tell you guys the one thing I regret about
your rant.
The rant at the very end. I said, I'm going to contact these CEOs. I don't want to focus any energy on Bitcoin Cash because I thought about it. I said, then they win. Then they win. If I'm focusing on negative energy against them, then my general aura is negative. I need my general aura to be positive. I said my piece, right? I said my piece. Roger DM'd me. I answered like a gentleman back. Yeah, we don't need to share. I answered like a gentleman back and said my piece back and move on with my life. So I don't want to, I'm not a developer. I'm not here to talk technically about liking the coin or hating it. My beef wasn't about that. My beef was about why are they trying to censor Litecoin when we kind of, both coins, the communities kind of should want the same thing.
Well, and Landon Castle is specifically a big part of the Litecoin fam back when he was racing his, and I forget what it's called, but it's like a dirt track racing that he does kind of off season of NASCAR. He talks about like different kinds of racing build you to be a stronger driver on all courses. And so he was doing this dirt Chili Bowl dirt thing here in Oklahoma, and my husband, when he was running the dealership, we sponsored him. And
I remember that.
Yeah, what Landon wanted on the car was Litecoin, and so we had Litecoin all over the car, and that was Landon's choice. And so, for him to be being paid in Litecoin, and there was Voyager on the car. I don't remember seeing Litecoin on the car, but he specifically asked to be paid in Litecoin.
Litecoin was on the back of the car. Voyager was like the main sponsor of the car, which I said I love Voyager. We promote my Voyager link. Voyager is my favorite crypto app for buying and selling in the United States. Voyager's cool. David Schwartz's company was on the back of the car as well, but there was no, and Litecoin was on the back of the car there. But you're right. Landon was a Litecoin OG back when the real bear market. He was like in Litecoin when the price was like crashed below $30. So I remember when you guys were sponsoring him, and that's where I originally knew him from. Then he spoke at the Litecoin Summit. Yes. So he's got a long history with Litecoin. It's not like this was just, hey, let's sponsor this guy. He knows nothing about the coin. Like, he knows more about Litecoin than most people out there. 99.9% of the population.
So I'm sharing your Voyager link, your referral link in pill.net, and
awesome.
Show up through the Foxhole app as well, and then also in the chat through YouTube, Twitch, all the other things we're streaming on.
And I'll explain why I like Voyager, guys. Besides for having really low fees, so it has no fees for trading, but I'm always honest. any platform that has no fees, the spot price of the coin when you go to buy it will be marked up a little bit. So I'd say to buy Litecoin, you're probably looking at like 0.5% on average, which is
so it's kind of a way of making the fees more transparent and upfront.
Way cheaper than it's easier. It's way cheaper though than like Coinbase or any. So the fees are low, right? They pay you interest. So this, as we said, is a big thing, which we'll get into more interest stuff when we talk about the Wand chain integration after. That's in DeFi, more of a decentralized way to earn interest. But in the meantime, Voyager, a centralized way to earn interest. But why I like it, I don't mind that it's centralized. We're providing liquidity for that. They need the liquidity from us, which is what I say. So if you deposit crypto into Voyager to earn this interest, they're lending it out. So this is the opposite of like the banking system, how that operates. That just to me is cool in and of itself, that this financial system, even these centralized products, they don't go to the governments and the banks for the coins. They don't have it. They have to go to the crypto community, the miners, the people that are into this stuff. So Voyager,
which is actually a way for crypto community and individuals to say, this is a coin or project that I support. And another way I can do that is not only by holding that coin, but lending it to something like Voyager for them to have the liquidity to exponentially spread that.
And right now they're paying 5.6% on Litecoin deposits, and they're paying 6.25% for Bitcoin, and they're paying 9% for US dollar coin. So that's another good angle. Some people might not want any exposure to Bitcoin or Litecoin, but they might want to just earn some interest on their dollars. And then you could that's a good way to expose somebody to crypto, and they'll be more warmed up to it. So you could link a bank account, turn your US dollars into US dollar coin. There's no fee to do that, and there's no markup of the spot price, because the spot price is always $1, so dollar for dollar, and you're earning 9% interest on your money. That's another
impressive. And you only have to hold, so they have these minimum monthly balances. So for that one, it's like $100 USDC. Litecoin, you only have to hold 2 Litecoin for the minimum monthly balance to make that 5.6%.
So guys, just look at this financial system. I mean, there's a lot of banks out there. Those make you got to hold $7,500 in the account or more just to get probably like 0.25% interest or whatever, like really low interest that they're giving you. So this is like absolutely incredible that for $100 you can collect 9% interest. But so again, Voyager, cool app, cool way to buy and sell cryptos, low fees. They pay interest. Now, we always say not your keys, not your coins. People listening to this might say, Johnny, what the hell are you talking about? Like, has the world turned upside down completely? You have to have some of your cryptos in your own possession, right? You always have to be playing it as, what if the financial system goes down? That we always say that could happen. That's why we're into this, right? You don't want to be like, hey, I figured it out to get into Bitcoin and Litecoin, but I let companies hold all of my Bitcoin or Litecoin. And now there was the whole financial system. There was some like Mad Max or some crazy type of event that happened, and I don't have any access to my crypto. So, but I look at earning interest on your crypto as a business. Like I always say, for crypto people, this is kind of like buying real estate or investing in real estate. I think you're more likely to get paid from Voyager, and there's no shot of Voyager or Celsius or any of these apps are going to have a problem as long as they're US based and US approved. You're going to be much more likely to be paid from them than you are renting a place to somebody and counting on them to pay you the rent, especially when the government intervenes and says, hey, you don't have to pay the rent. So Voyager pays you regardless of what the government says about people paying rents and stuff. Because again, crypto, Bitcoin and Litecoin is digital real estate. So it's, it's not physical property where.
Well, and now that it is not only digital real estate, it's foreign currency. Now that El Salvador is using it as their dollar.
As their legal tender.
Their legal tender. Yes, thank you. Legal tender.
That's really exciting. And that's going to accelerate adoption of Lightning Network as well. So Lightning Network, a lot of people are negative on it, or I couldn't be more bullish on Lightning Network. What I'm seeing, there's more liquidity going into it than ever. So it's growing by a lot. And
can you talk about the significance of the transactions? You post a lot about different spikes in transactions and why that's important and how that affects Litecoin.
Actually, a good tie-in because I was just talking about Lightning. So people might be like, well, why is Lightning Network ever going to be needed for Litecoin when the transaction fees are so cheap? So as of right now, the transaction fees are really low in Litecoin, and it can handle a lot more scalability, which as is evident from right here. If you look at the chart, Litecoin transactions spiked to about 200,000 transactions in the last 24 hours. I think I checked it a couple hours ago, and there had been about 220,000 transactions on the Litecoin network. All the while, the median transaction fee is dropping. This is opposite of what happens on Bitcoin or Ethereum. The transaction fees raise as there's more activity. So this is reason I wanted to show this is that, hey, Litecoin can handle a lot more throughput and a lot more scalability, and it costs less than 1/10 of a penny to send a transaction. So if anybody new out there is listening, you might say, what the hell are you guys talking about transaction fees? What is this, right, Lisa? I don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and we want to be a resource to people that are new coming into this. We know that we're all still really early, and there's going to be more and more new people coming in. And a lot of the language, that was one of the hardest things for me coming into crypto, was it's a whole different vocabulary. And so as you're hearing these terms, like, don't be intimidated by it. The more you listen to this and you hear it in context, it'll make sense. But that's where Johnny's really great at explaining a lot of this stuff.
And we start, it's hard too, because we live in this world and we're always talking about it. So then we kind of just talk about it like people just naturally, like people know the stuff we know. And then we're talking about things like, the transaction fee. And then you realize, well, people listening might not know what that is. So let me explain, because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So in the crypto world, any blockchain, this is not specific to Litecoin, when you send a transaction, what that means is if you send somebody money, you transfer value on the network, you have to pay a fee as the user, okay? And this is different from the credit card world that I was used to. In the credit card payments world, the business receiving the payment pays the fees. So this kind of was one of the things that got me interested in cryptos in the first place. I said, wow, there's no fee to receive, the fees on the sender. But different blockchains have different fees, different transaction fees to send a payment or send a transaction. So the reason we like Litecoin so much is that it has really good liquidity, meaning it's available all over the world. It's easy to get. But when you go to transfer it, the fees are really low. It costs less than 1/10 of a penny. So if I said, hey, can you send me $1 and pay via Litecoin, you're not going to bat an eye because you're not going to say, oh, the fee's really high. But, if I asked you to send me $1 on the Bitcoin network or Ethereum network, you would have to spend a few dollars to send $1. And depending on how busy the networks are, the fee could be more than $10. It could be more than $20. I mean, we've seen fees spike to $50 before on those networks. So those networks are getting, Ethereum's going to get more scalable. But point being, Litecoin is still really scalable and the fees are really low on the main network, which is what we call the layer 1 blockchain, which is that Litecoin network. So really cool. Just the transactions can go up and the transaction fee can actually go down. Now, Lisa, there is going to be a point in the future if Litecoin, I'd estimate if it was doing 2 million transactions per day, that the transaction fees will start to rise. The blocks will become full, okay? So then at that point in time, the blocks will be full. Then you'd have to go to these second layer solutions that are being developed. Hence this Lightning Network that I was talking about before. A lot of people know what Lightning Network is. A lot of people don't. Lightning Network is a payments rail, a payments network. And it's
similar to Visa or Bitcoin.
Similar to Visa or Mastercard. And Lightning Network theoretically can scale to a couple million transactions per second. That is incredible throughput. And the beauty of Lightning Network, right now there's an app called Strike where you just link a bank account and you actually transfer US dollars over the Lightning Network, and it's secured and settled by Bitcoin. So then you could pay a Lightning Network invoice, as they call it, and somebody in India or another country in Japan or somewhere like that can settle their payment into Bitcoin through this Lightning Network. Or if they have an integration over there into the banking system, they can settle it into their currency over there. What is it? Japanese yen, I believe, or Indian or whatever these currencies would be. Reason I brought up Japan, that was other big news this week. Coinbase just got approved in Japan.
Yes. And there's only 7, is that right? 7 coins that are approved on Coinbase through Japan? 5. Okay. And one of them is
Litecoin. So that's also really exciting. That's really exciting. It seems to be out of the US. They're more advanced as far as payment adoption goes. So we would see more adoption. It seems the US has always been behind in terms of payment adoption.
Interesting.
It's taken give you guys a good example. In the credit card world that I come from, places still swipe credit cards. You could go into, I believe, Panera Bread. If you pay on the kiosk in there, you swipe your credit card. This is 2021. Are you kidding me? You're swiping a credit card? But the legacy system, as we call it in the United States, is archaic, but it takes forever to evolve it. So in what I've seen in Europe and in Asia, they adopted the EMV technology much faster. And what EMV was the chips on the credit cards. And they adopted that technology back in the early 2000s. And then obviously they adopted tap to pay much faster than us. So there's a
lot of stores now that want you to download their app and pay with their app. And I guess is that the next step past the tap? Is that you just open your app and you're paying within
Yeah,
kind of
and why
within
they're
that
trying to
wall.
do that is they eliminate the merchant processing fees, the fees to process these credit cards. So if you look at it, and not only that, they get capital, they get liquidity. I think Starbucks has a couple $100 million at least in their app. It's been deposited. I mean, they're
Yeah,
obviously
because
doing something with those
that
funds.
one's a prepaid app too.
So,
So
yeah,
they're holding your currency,
yeah.
not paying you interest. I mean, I know we have a running balance on our Starbucks card, so they're sitting there making interest or whatever on that. All of that is prepaid and on their balance sheet as an asset.
Johnny's proud to say, I don't want to get political today, but I do not go to Starbucks anymore.
Oh, okay. I'll have to think about changing.
And that, I was a coffee addict. So for me to give up Starbucks, that was like,
Yeah.
woo.
Well, we do a lot at home now, and that's part of the reason I still have so much on my app, because we put our chaga tea in with our coffee, so it steeps, and
nice,
so,
nice.
so
I go to
not as
Dunkin'. I go to Dunkin', and especially because I could pay via Litecoin at Dunkin' through the Flexa payment network.
Mm-hmm.
This is another payment network that integrates with several cryptos, and not several yet, a few, but and you could pay at big box stores. The coolest thing about that Flexa payment network, it's super easy to use on the user's end. You don't have to send a crypto transaction. You look at if you're at Bye Bye Baby, Dunkin Donuts, Express, Lowe's, you pick the store you're at, then you show the clerk a QR code, they scan it. They don't need to know that you're paying via cryptos, nor should you probably tell them, because you're going to hold up the line. They're going to,
Right.
You could. Now, when I go in there and pay that way, sometimes, like I did a video a few weeks ago, the guy at Dunkin Donuts actually asked me, was I the creator of Litecoin? And usually I don't ever get asked, so I was like, and he owned Litecoin. He was like so excited that I was in there. He was honored. And I was like, I'm paying via Litecoin. I told him, and he was like,
That's exciting.
I had to do a video when I came out for that one. I was like,
that's really cool. We had a kid at Fuzzy's Tacos. And I had my Litecoin Lisa hat on. And he's like, so I guess you guys are like really into Litecoin. I said, yeah. And he's like, well, I've got some. And then it was right when the masks came off here legally, officially, where even business owners didn't have to force their employees or whatever. And so then we went back again. He's like, it's me. I didn't even recognize the kid. But yeah, he was really excited about it. And it is exciting. It's exciting to know we have an option, as we see this, what the banksters are doing. And, they're telling us, Powell was on the other day telling people, oh, don't worry. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to raise the interest rates, but not yet, and we know it's just this, train wreck about to happen. So we do have another option and a way to protect our wealth now.
Yeah, lifeboats, we always say. These are, the regular system is the Titanic. It's not a question of if it's going to hit the iceberg. It did. It hit already. And, people in charge, I don't think they're driving the boat too well now. And you better figure out, you better have gotten into a lifeboat and figured out your plan so you can escape. Is the best way to put it. Right. And there's no better way to escape than, I feel like, Bitcoin and Litecoin. And any cryptos that you guys like. I say Bitcoin and Litecoin because I'm really into Bitcoin and Litecoin. I'm sort of a, I guess for talking about it, I'm a Bitcoin and Litecoin maximalist because it's what I know and understand. I like to talk about stuff that I know I know the payment system's broke. I know the monetary system's broke. I've seen it with my own eyes working in it. So it's like, I can talk about this. There's years of data in that Bitcoin to Litecoin ratio. There's some, the
other thing that for people that are new to cryptocurrency, there's, like I said, the vocabulary and the language can be confusing. Even Powell misspoke the other day where he was 1 minute calling CBDCs or central banking digital currencies. He called them cryptocurrencies, and they're not cryptocurrencies.
Nope.
They are digital currencies. They're centralized digital currencies. So could you give a quick definition of what makes wires and which coins? So it's my understanding Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Digibyte are the only 3 true cryptocurrencies.
No, well, I wouldn't say Digibyte. Not knocking on
really?
Digibyte, not knocking on Digibyte, but I wouldn't know. And we'll add more in because you can't just say those, because any proof of work blockchain is a true cryptocurrency because it had a cost of production.
Oh, I thought it had to also be decentralized.
Well, and being decentralized, meaning how was it released into the world, into society? Was there a large pre-mine? Then it wasn't released fairly. So there's a lot of factors at play. But the cost of production is definitely a big one. I've talked to the CFTC before at a conference. They've told me this isn't conspiracy. They've said this. For it to be considered a commodity, it has to have a cost of production. This is what they told me point blank. They liked Litecoin. They said, yeah, Litecoin, it's decentralized at a cost of production. So those proof of work have the cost of production because they have to be mined or created with energy and working an algorithm, not like some of these other projects, which still have value and opportunity. They just are ones that are created or minted or printed. So I'm not knocking other stuff. So let me explain. Right. Other stuff can be looked at as more blockchain tech, a lot of value in networks. There's a lot, staking is very interesting. Staking is very exciting. Staking is a way to earn rewards on your crypto, and it's a different concept from proof of work. Okay. And
that's more that DeFi world that we're talking about, staking, which is where you're allowing someone else to hold, or you're locking up your asset to then earn interest.
Staking in proof of work, the miners secure the network and kind of like clear the transactions. In proof of stake, you're helping to secure the network by locking up coins, and you're kind of providing like liquidity, and like the validators are securing the transactions or clearing the transactions. So it's a completely different concept. But again, there's no cost of production. That's why being a commodity, in my humble opinion, is these proof of work coins that were released fairly. The most two important is Bitcoin and Litecoin, and point blank. And one can be looked at as digital gold. One could be looked at as digital silver. They're created very similarly. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins ever created through proof of work mining on the SHA-256 algorithm. And there's only ever going to be 84 million Litecoins ever created through script mining algorithm. So they mine on different.
We have to remember how many that have been lost over the years, especially when they weren't valued very high, and people would, they've lost their seed phrases, lost passwords, put them on an exchange that crashed, different things. So that that number is limited.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great point, Lisa. Lots of coins that are lost that there's no recovering those. They come out of the available supply.
So I have a question from Dawn on Pilled. She says, what happens if there's an EMP and I need food?
EMP and you need food. So as far as like getting to your money,
being able to access your cryptos.
If there's you want to have like I said, you want to have a few different. You want to have a few different plans, and you want to have a couple different options. Crypto being the main one, but obviously you want to have a couple of things on hand, maybe a few silver coins, a small amount of cash, maybe just some things to barter with. If there's an EMP and you can't get, and you have to worry about getting food, bartering will become a real thing at that point in time. So because the credit card payment system won't work either, most systems and most cash registers won't work if there's an EMP. They all run on power. These businesses, they will be in complete disarray. This is what I do for a living, is set up these point of sale systems. I mean, if one screen goes down, people could call us up screaming about it. Never mind. Yeah. So I would say in that point in time, just have some stuff to barter with would probably be the best way to get your hands on food, and might even be just bartering a skill. Maybe you're strong. You can barter. You help them lug some crap around for an hour or two. I mean, hell, I work out all the time. So shit, it's the fan. Johnny will come move some freaking boxes around. I'll outwork everybody out there. I'll be eating.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and it is a good idea, not to have all your eggs in one basket, but there are going to be things. So then, the argument is, well, so silver in my hand is best. Well, not if it causes you to need. So one of the problems with, and I myself love precious metals. That's part of our holdings as well. But what you have to understand is part of the reason that there ever were banks is because it takes money and effort and security to move those assets around. So if you're trying to buy a house and you've got a car full of gold, and you've got to hire security and an armed truck and all this kind of stuff to move it around. So those are those kind of things where, like, depending on the situation, different currencies or forms of currency have different value.
The other thing is, Lisa, notice I said a few silver coins.
Right.
Recognizability is not there with silver anymore. So the problem is most people have no clue what silver is. They've heard of silver. They can't identify it. And now if you listen to silver bugs, they'll say, oh no, get constitutional money, which is considered junk silver, 90% stuff, pre-1964. You're going to get, that was always the best deal. Let me tell you what, 98% of the public, if you went to pay with that, they're going to be like, these are some old quarters. And you're going to be like, no, it's
they
really worth this.
Understand.
And trust me, Publix just said something great. He goes, if an EMP hits, money is going to be the least of anyone's concerns. What do you think? You're going to be out giving people an economics lesson? Yeah. Come on.
That is a great point. Yeah. Come on. It's that thing like when Uncle Cliff talks about, he has his web bots talking about $600 silver. And he's like, but you won't like the world we live in if we're at $600 silver. And so, not to bash silver or any other currency, like, I think everybody should really consider having multiple avenues of resource. But the other thing that I remember reading an article that you can actually send Bitcoin or cryptocurrency through radio frequency. So there are other ways to skin the cat.
100%, Lisa. So cryptos is such a better option because, first of all, EMP, they're not going to take out the whole internet of the entire world at one time. I would say that's an impossibility. Nothing in the world is 100% certain. There's never 100% certainty, right? They might take out most of the internet, most of the stuff. So what happens is these decentralized blockchains, they route to where nodes are online and where miners are online. So it's not like the centralized system where, we hit the spot. We can't name the bank, but one of them, they claimed there was smoke in the server room. That's why they went down. Like with Litecoin and Bitcoin, and just routes to nodes and stuff that are online. So it's a totally different ball game. So I would doubt that they'd be able to get, you know, I think there'd be a lot of internet outages and stuff. There'd be a lot of disruption. You might not be able to access your coins for a certain period of time wherever you're at, because you might not have internet in your community, in your town. Your town might have been hit or something, right? Or there may be an outage in your county or whatever. But as long as you have your cryptos in your own possession, remember, your cryptos are never in this phone. They're never in that wallet. Your cryptos are on the blockchain. All these wallets they provide a nice UI, which is user interface, for you to be able to unlock the private key in an easy way, user-friendly way, so you can unlock the private key on the network and transfer value to somebody else. And so it's actually this, like, I would always argue, if any of that stuff happened, cryptos is the safest thing. Anything digital is recognizable. Numbers and tech is what people know. And now I still said, have some silver coins. I'm not saying not to have it. I'm super bullish on
have
silver.
Some food in your house, have some water in your house. Yeah. Lead, all those things.
Have some lead. I don't want people to think I'm anti-gold or silver, because I think that with all the tech, you know, there's going to be, you know, we got off in this rabbit hole of the EMP because it was a question that's asked. But I think the more likely scenario is all the electric vehicles taken off, all the tech that's taken off, the high-tech world.
There was already Gavin Newsom actually made an announcement, I don't know if it was a couple of days ago or over the weekend, that he told people not to charge their electric vehicles because there was a electricity shortage in California. So
here you go. There you go.
What are you going to do with that? Yeah.
Crazy. Sure. Why don't we talk about Wanchain, unless there's any other questions?
Yeah, I want to just give a real quick, I'm going to put the link up to pilled.net and Foxhole. If you guys go on there and create a profile, so they have this opportunity where I can give out a lottery ticket at the end of every broadcast. And so it's like a scratch off. So you create your account and you put that I referred you, just start typing in Litecoin Lisa and my profile show up. You click on me that I referred you. And then when you're watching my channel live, I will put up the lottery ticket towards the end of the live stream. And then they said somehow you scratch it off and you can win some gold pills. So it's kind of like lemons on DLive. So they're working on a whole system of rewarding people for watching. So I really want to encourage everybody to do that. Nice. So we can talk about Wanchain for a sec, and then we can do our lotto ticket.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So Wanchain, guys, this is exciting. Now, a lot of people might, I'd say, what's Wanchain? They might not be excited about it. I'm excited about every integration that comes to Litecoin, even if it's something I may not use, because it provides more need for Litecoin, more transactions, more use, more liquidity. So this enables Litecoin on DeFi. This lets you swap in a decentralized manner through these like bridges that have been created on this Wanchain network. And you're basically able to create wrapped Litecoin. You can have it on the Wanchain blockchain, on the Binance Smart Chain, or on Ethereum. So this is really big.
So if you wrap Litecoin and put it on the Ethereum network, do you still pay Ethereum network fees, or do you pay Litecoin?
That's why you probably would want to do it on the Wanchain or the Binance Smart Chain network. And those networks are compatible with the EVM, which is the Ethereum virtual machine. So the reason why people want to do this, engage in this DeFi, they could do this like yield farming, or this like liquidity mining. And what was I going to say? So you wrap your Litecoin, and then you could do this. You could do this yield farming, and then you're getting this high yield on your Litecoin, and then so it's just another way to get interest.
So it's a way to kind of stake your Litecoin, but on another network and get the interest that network is offering.
It's different than staking, but it's kind of like staking because you're doing it. You're in this case here. It's liquidity mining or like yield farming they call it. And you're providing liquidity for these, for DeFi. I'm not a DeFi expert, guys.
Yeah, I'm learning, but I'm hearing all these terms about yield farming and
so
DeFi thing.
I tweeted a picture. I mean, the interests and the yields are huge. Somebody tweeted a picture. I think they were making over 100% on their Litecoin, and I retweeted it.
What?
Yeah. And
was that recently?
Recently. It was yesterday. It was yesterday. Yep.
This must be it.
Yeah, there you go.
One swap on one chain using LTC bridge to one.
Yeah, 167% yield.
What?
Now he's using the now that's wrapped Litecoin on the one, so it's one Litecoin, and basically it's like wrapping Litecoin. It's like taking an asset, like you teleport it to that blockchain, you teleport it through this one chain bridge, and then you're getting this huge yield. And then I think it's what you call is you can like harvest, they call it. And that's, I guess, you're kind of settling back out of, and you're kind of like taking your yield or whatever. You're taking your profits.
Wow.
It's very interesting. Again, look at this stuff, guys, as a business. So this might be, now I've talked a lot about Voyager. We're talking about earlier about Voyager, getting interest on your cryptos through that. We've talked about Celsius before, different apps. This is a way to do it in more of a decentralized manner through this on-chain integration. So this is really cool. Look at this as a business. Look, maybe say, hey, it's something I want to learn about, practice it, watch some videos on it, and
just put a small amount of your Litecoin on to try it, test it out, try it.
Yeah, the key is, like I said, you have to hodl some of your Litecoin where you have the private key in your own private wallets. But if you say, hey, I want to sell half of my Litecoin at some point, and well, then I'd say to you, what are you going to do with the money? And you might be like, oh, it's going to sit in my bank. I'm like, well, do what? Do what with the money, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of a way to say, hey, why don't you look at this as a business? It's a way to kind of like earn. And, you're still hodling some of your Litecoin at least. Like I always say use an 80-20 rule of where you're hodling 80% and you can kind of gamble with 20% where you're earning interest and stuff. Maybe you can go to a 75-25 ratio or a 70-30 ratio if you're using stuff that's more decentralized, because now you're spreading your risk out even more. So even when you're playing this interest game, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Use Voyager, use Celsius, use Abra. Try this out. Just try different things out just to spread your risk.
Definitely. I think that's a great idea. Man, it would be hard to not get greedy and put a lot more into something like this when you're making 167% interest.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't tried it yet. I'm really pumped about it. I watched a couple videos, and I'm not gonna lie, I watched a few videos, and I'm like, man, I definitely want to try it with a few Litecoins. I mean, why not? It's so
maybe put 2 Litecoin in Voyager, put 2 Litecoin in this, and then
just test it out
for a couple months. Yeah, and see what.
Test it out. Yeah, that's a good way to try it out, guys. Try putting 2 or 3 Litecoins in Voyager. I think 2 is the minimum. And then put 2 or 3 and maybe take 5 Litecoins total. Put 2.5 in Voyager, put 2.5 in something like this, and test it out.
Is there a minimum on this?
I don't think there's any type of minimum because it's DeFi. So I guess it would just be whatever the transaction fees would be. Hence, Litecoin, there's low transaction fees. And that's why you'd want to go to, that's why if you engaged in this, you would want to go to, I guess, Yuan chain or the Binance Smart Chain because they integrate with the Ethereum virtual machine rather than just trying to convert it into like a wrapped Ethereum, because then you're going to pay all those Ethereum network fees.
Right. It wouldn't be conducive at all for sure. Yeah. Wow. That's exciting. Good news. And I know we were going to hit on Lightbringer game, had an upgrade, but we can talk about that more next week with some other stuff. Want to jump over to Pilled and try our first. This will be my very first time doing the.
Good luck, you guys. Good luck getting these gold.
Yeah.
What are they? Gold pills they were called,
gold
I guess?
Pills. Yeah, because it's pilled.net. So it's the gold pills. And let's see, how do I do this? Well, it won't let me click that part of it. See, I can't see my whole screen. I'm not sure I'm doing something wrong. I'm sure I'll have to. Now Methods will say, well, get on Discord and we'll teach you how.
Next week, guys, we're going to definitely talk some Discord, and we're going to talk about the Discord channel that I'm running the crypto section, and I want to hopefully a lot of you guys can join in there, and we could talk cryptos, and I can, more importantly, I can give more help in there too, because any questions you guys have, you guys might hear something on the show and say, Johnny, I didn't know what you're talking about. Boom, find me in there and ask.
Okay. Yeah. And will you give me that link so I can put it in the description so if people are watching this later, they can find that Discord link?
Yeah. 100. You want me to give it to you now, Lisa?
Sure. Are you going to send it through the private chat?
I'll text it to you.
Okay.
'Cause I have it on my phone. Let me see.
And I released the lottery ticket on Pilled. I'm not sure what that looks like on your side, you guys, but hopefully that comes through, and give me some feedback on that and let me know how that went. I'm not able to really see it on my side. I'm not sure why I can't like see the top of my screen, and I can't really see the bottom, but I was able to click on the release okay, here's the link to the Discord. I'm going to put it in both chats. I've got it. There are all the chats, I guess. We're streaming on YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, Twitch, Odyssey, and Pill.net, and Foxhole, the Foxhole app. So
I was going to say, if you guys need help with it.
Okay, cool. So then you guys can see this, these screens, and it says Temp won 1 gold pill in the lotto. The Hawk won 1 gold pill in the lotto. So that's kind of cool.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I'll add this Discord link. Sometimes these take a little while to load. That was the other thing I'm learning on Pilled, is to not, because I'm, impatient. So I like put a link and then hit comment, and then it doesn't post.
Really nice user interface. I really like it. So awesome development and UI. Definitely think it's really eye appealing and looks really sweet.
Yeah, I really like it. It also has a great community. I was on Methods show earlier, and they were talking about life lessons and different things, and there was just a lot of really intelligent conversation. And so I think it's going to be a great mix. Hopefully our community from YouTube and some of those other channels will join the Pilled and get the Foxhole app. And
I'm joining tonight, guys. I'm downloading it tonight. I'm joining it tonight, and Johnny's Johnny's in. I like what you guys are doing, so I'm
yeah. And we need more of that decentralized, I always say, like, I don't want to censor anybody. I want to know, even people I don't agree with, I would rather know their thoughts. I think that's a much safer world where there's more transparency. We're all safer to choose who we want to interact with and not. And
choose what you like and you learn from what you don't like. You don't learn from your echo chamber of everyone agreeing with you.
Absolutely. And that I really respect that about Pilled and the Foxhole app as well. They are really they were listening to their community. They asked, what do you want to hear? What do we want to branch out to? Not just have it be an echo chamber like, Parler kind of turned into. And so they're wanting to bring these alternative views, and part of that is crypto, and I'm honored to be a part of that. So
nice. Love it.
Big thank you to RDoc for getting connected with Methods, and grateful to all of the community that we have. So hopefully you guys can find us over there. And we'll do those lotteries every time. So I think we should spread the gold pills around to everyone. So. All right. Put Westwood's in the chat. He says, we'll see you guys tomorrow, every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We do a happy hour, and we'll definitely be wrapping up from the big weekend at Westwood's and talking about all kinds of crazy things. You never know what's going to come out of Westwood's mouth.
Nice.
Johnny, thanks for joining us, and thanks for all the education that you give us every week.
Awesome. Lisa, thanks again, and we'll see everybody next week.
All right. Take care.